Hi everyone, we're going to check in with ZEC, Zcash for our chart, see how it's doing. Now, of course, context is that ZEC, Zcash has been one of the best performers this year with some tremendous gains in the face of actually quite some bearish periods for the crypto market this year. And it's been very resilient. Now, even though the market is quite bearish at the moment and there is a lot of fear and uncertainty and all that kind of stuff, FUD and all that kind of stuff, Zcash is still looking to try and make gains now, because people look at these high gainers as always the dips as a potential opportunity to get in on something which they missed from this move. So that's why we'll see some of these assets moving against the wider trend in the market. So there's a trading opportunity here. Now, firstly, we have this ascending triangle on the back of a double bottom from ZEC, and we have the 200 MA on the 4-hour chart coming in, acting as resistance. Now, typically in a bullish market, you wouldn't really have much problem coming in at this nice little pocket here at the back end of this lower support of this ascending triangle. But because the market is quite uncertain at the moment, we need to start asking ourselves what signals we need. Now, firstly, we do have a double bottom on the RSI, which is good. We can trade off that, and there's a bit of divergence as well, of course, you can see, because we're putting in fresh new highs as well in the price action, but this is remaining quite static, which is great. However, we still need to be cautious. So we have two potential plays here. The first is we wait for a break of the 200 MA like this, and then we look to come in on the flip side. Now, we don't get the ideal pocket we're in, but at least we then get confirmation that we've broken above the 200 MA. So that would be the first play, essentially trying to come in within the pattern still, but after having bullish confirmation once the price action is broken above the 200 MA. Because until it does, we have to presume that the price action may head down from here as it compresses or pushes the price action down. So that's the idea. So you wait for a break of the 200 MA, come in on the flip side, and there you go. But if you do want to be a little bit more cautious, like me, you then wait for the pattern to complete, which would essentially mean we break above the 200 MA like so, and then we wait for a break of the full break out of the ascending triangle and look to come in on the flip side, which would be around $455, and then we ride it up from there. That means you've got additional confirmation, and it's on the back of a couple of bearish signals, on the back of a couple of bullish signals, which would be consistent enough to give you the confidence to come in on the break of the pattern, because the market will either have turned a little bit more bullish, Bitcoin may have started to attack some key resistance levels, or ZEC has just continued to be bullish, put in a couple of signals, and buyers look to come and enter on that as it is. But because the market's uncertain, we do want additional bullish confirmation. So at the very least, waiting for a break above the 200 MA for bullish continuation first on the back of this double bottom. But as I said, waiting for the pattern to complete would be the safest option at this point, especially considering this is essentially pretty decent resistance and support. So if we can flip that, there is a lot of buyers which are going to come in. But that's essentially ZEC, which is one of the few tokens at the moment which is quite bullish. But that's Zcash.